Okay, let's start. So I see that both of you have already done this week's tutorial. So good job. So both of you get 3 points for completing the tutorial. And yes, you're punctual. You're both on time. So let's give you punctuality points as well. Both of you. Where's punctuality? I didn't add it.
No, it's
Oh,
there.
it's here. Okay, yes. Okay, and your videos are on. Okay, Ken. So let's start. When I give you points, just write it down. And then at the end, tell me how many points you have, okay? The points will be exchanged or something else, which you will know when we move forward. But for now, let me change the slides. Okay, can you see my PowerPoint now? You can't see my PowerPoint?
No.
This Emma Watson keep changing her background. Are you settled with your background already? Are you happy already?
Yeah.
I see 10,000 backgrounds going back and forth. Okay, so do you all see my slides?
No. No.
Oh, no? What about now?
No. No.
That's very strange. Okay, wait. Let me change that.
Okay.
What about now? Do you see my slide?
Yeah, now it's better.
Okay, great. Well done. Okay, so now you can see that I'm changing the slides, right? Wait, let me change the slides. Can you see me changing the slides?
Yeah.
Okay, Ken, done. So you've already done this already, so I'm not going to explain this. Very good. All of you did your questions. Okay. So I know that Gyati, you had 3 mistakes, right? But those, I do not know if there's others that you actually didn't know you guessed, but you got it right. But let me know. As well, Emma, I saw your questions as well, but most of them are in the vocab. I will explain when I go through. Good. I wrote down the questions that all of you have gotten wrong so that I know when to spend time on it. But if there are questions that you got right just by fluke, right? Let me know so I can explain to them explain to you as well. We're going to start with the grammar MCQ. Well, let's start with grammar MCQ. Do you remember how many marks is grammar MCQ? Grammar MCQ is 10 marks, 10 questions for PSLE. 10 questions, 10 marks, 1 mark each, okay? So before we look at the grammar MCQ, I just want to refresh your memory. Ken, this is a tense timeline on the screen that you see, okay? I'm going to give you 1 word. You're going to tell me what the tense is going to be. Okay, wait, let me change the slide first. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give you a word. The word is going to be sing.
Sing.
Sing. Can you tell me the present tense for sing?
Singing.
Present tense, not continuous. The present tense for sing is sing. Okay, good try. Give someone 1 point. And also sings, right? Depending on whether it's singular or plural, right? So if one person is sings, if many is sing. So both of them are present tense. Singing is continuous, right? Something that you're doing now, ing, present continuous. What is the future tense for singing? I mean for sing? Future.
Will sing.
Yes, very good. You always add will in front. Give yourself a point. Yes, will something. So here's will sing. Emma Watson, what is the past tense for sing?
No, sing.
What is the past tense? Or sang. Very good. Now, this is a tricky one. Is everybody knows the past tense for sing is sang, but people always forget there's 2 pasts. One is the past tense. The other one is the past perfect tense. Okay, past perfect or present perfect. Whenever you see perfect, means it's already over. But you want to compare 2 things that happened in the past. So if one thing happened before another thing, you always will have has, or had in front of the past participle. So the perfect tense is always a participle. Participle, right? It's a past participle. So it will be, what's the past participle for sang?
Has sang.
Sung. S-U-N-G. So it changes, okay? And you use sung with either have, has, or had. And these are all 1 step before. So usually you use past participle and then you use that tense. Whenever 2 things happen in the past, you want to show 1 thing happened first and then another thing happened. For example, I had eaten. Had eaten. Eaten is the past participle for the past tense is ate, right? The past participle is eaten. I had eaten my breakfast before I went for a walk. So went is the past tense, right? I went for a walk. But 2 of those things happened in the past. I want to show 1 thing happened first and then the other thing. So I will always use a had. had or have or has. Have and has is present perfect. Okay, it's basically about things that happened in the past, which can still be felt today. The consequences can be felt today. Okay, that's when you use present perfect. But most of the time you use past perfect if you're comparing two things in the past. So I had eaten my breakfast before I went for lunch. So that's eat. For example, eat will become eat or eats, right? Oh, sorry, eat will become eat. She eats something, okay? Either eat or eats, and then eating, right? What is the future?
Will eat.
Future is either will or shall, okay? Shall eat or will or shall means the future. What is the past tense for eat?
Ate.
Yes, very good. Sorry, give yourself a point. And give yourself a point, Emma, as well, for trying. Are you paying attention? Don't dream, okay? And then what is the past participle for eat? I mean for ate. Past participle.
Has
what?
eaten.
Yes, good. Give yourself a point. Now, not all the time the past participle changes. Sometimes they are exactly the same, like walk. The past tense for walk is walked, right? And the past participle for walked is also walked, but you must add has, have, or had. The only difference you always have to add have, has, or had. So have walked. So the change in the participle is the same. So walked and walked. There is no change. Fly, for example, fly. Past tense of fly is what? Already over. Emma, what's the past tense of fly?
Flew.
Very good. Give us a point. Past tense of fly is flew. What is the past participle of fly? Have?
Flew.
No, have flown. If you notice, the past participle always ends with in. And sorry, and usually and, okay, but some it doesn't end with n, right? But yes, most of the time it does end with n. Okay, so that's just that, just for you to know the tenses, because this is very important for grammar MCQ. Okay, so let's look at that. Okay, today grammar focus, I'm going to teach you the 4 conditionals. Have you learned the 4 conditionals?
No.
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 P5 haven't learned already. Oh my goodness. Okay, so conditionals are how you use if, okay, if something. Now, conditionals come from the word condition, means there's a condition. Something must happen in order for something else to happen. So there are 2 parts of the sentence in conditional. The first part is the condition. Okay, the condition itself, what must happen. And the condition always has the if. It's called the if clause because it's separated by a comma. We'll look at it, okay? So if clause, the condition, and the result. There are 2 parts to all if sentences, the condition and the result. Now, the first condition is called this. It's called zero conditional. Now, zero conditional is always the truth. That means it's a fact. For example, if or when water reaches 100 degrees Celsius, comma, it boils. Do you notice the if clause? The if clause is the sentence, I mean the part of the sentence that has water reaches 100. So the condition is the water must reach 100 degrees Celsius. And it's in present tense, okay? Because it is a truth, whenever you mention anything that is a truth, it must always be said in present tense. So the if clause must be in present tense, simple present, as well as the result. It boils is the result. What happened? Result, right? It's the result. So this is the condition, right? And that is the result. So both later I'll test you, remember the tense, okay? The condition and the result must be in present tense. So that's why reaches, boils. So both of them must be in present tense. That is zero conditional. Everybody clear? What is the tense for zero conditional, Miss Emma Watson?
Tense.
Is it past tense? Is it future tense? Or is it present tense?
Present tense.
Yes. Present tense, okay? Now let's look at the second. Oh yes, one more thing to take note. Whenever you start a sentence with if, there must always be a comma to separate the condition from the result. But if I change the sentence to water boils if it reaches 100 degrees Celsius, if the if is in the middle of a sentence, you don't have to put a comma, right? Only if you start with if, then to separate the condition, you put a comma. But if I switch the sentence around, I say water boils, the water boils if it reaches 100 degrees Celsius. If it's in the middle, there's no comma. Only if it starts, okay? That's why all the sentences you see will have a comma. Now, first conditional. Ta-da! Now, first conditional is highly likely, means most probably it will definitely happen. Okay, so first conditional, zero conditional is a fact, right? 1, 2, and 3, the rest of the conditionals are not facts, okay? But they are varying degrees of the probability of it happening. So first conditional, most likely it will happen. Most likely, okay? For example, okay, if you rest, comma, you will feel better. Now, take note of the tense. For first conditional, the condition is in present tense, rest, not rested, okay? But the difference is the result, will feel. You must add the word will because it's future. Okay, so the result will always be in future tense. The condition will be in present tense. The if clause will be in present tense. The result will be in future tense. So, for example, if Emma studies hard, she will pass her exam. You must say will. You cannot just say she passed her exam. Okay, you must use the word will. Because we're talking about future that haven't happened yet, but most probably will happen. So that's first conditional. Next one, second conditional. Now, second conditional is said to be hypothetical, means it's imagined. Means it's not an actual scenario, it is something you make up. For example, if Miss Nisha lived in a unicorn land, a unicorn land doesn't exist. Hypothetical is an imagined scenario. So if Miss Nisha lived in a unicorn land, she would meet a unicorn. Okay. So the tense here for second conditional is that the result will be in past tense. The condition will be in past tense. The result, you must use a modal verb, which is would. Modal verbs are basically helping verbs. Okay, action words, verbs are just action words, right? Run, hop, sit, dance. Would is basically helping words. It's an unlikely thing that will never happen. So you use would to show the possibility. So for second conditional, the condition is in past tense and the result must be in would plus something. Okay, would plus something. It's always would plus something. So this is the result. Okay, it's always a modal verb, would or could or should plus something. Okay, third conditional. So remember, zero conditional, first conditional is always present tense. The difference is first conditional, the result is in future tense. Okay. Second conditional is past tense. Next one, third conditional. Now this one is completely hypothetical because you're talking about an event that happened in the past, but you're regretting or reflecting it now. Okay, this is the third conditional. For example, if you had told me you needed a ride yesterday, I would have offered. So you must use past perfect, right? Just like I told you the tenses, right? You must use had something. So the condition will always be had plus something, a verb. And then here it will be would have, okay? So they are both using a past perfect tense, okay? Would have, had. So must always have had. The result will always have would have. And then the if clause will have had something. So there's the result. And this is the if clause. Okay, now let me test you if you understood why I was talking for so long. Let's ask Emma. Okay, Emma, for zero conditional, both the if clause and the result must be in what tense? Past tense? Good try. Give us a 1 point for trying, but clearly that's not the answer. What's the answer? It's a fact. Zero conditions are facts. Facts must always be in what tense? Do you know, Jyati?
Present tense.
Yes, very good. Okay, give it a point. It must be in. Let me change my marker color. I'm going to change it to rainbow. Okay. It must be in present tense because it's a fact. Okay, any fact, like for example, water boiling, right? You must say water boils. If water reaches 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. Present tense. Now, first conditional, Emma, what the if clause must be in what tense?
Clause.
What tense must it be? Let me show you the slide. It's you didn't write any notes down. That's why you cannot remember. Where is my PowerPoint slide? No. Wait,